Is this the Rookie CEO podcast?
Yeah, I think we're in the right place.
Oh, Hev, it's recording. This is Fuzz.
And I'm Hev, and you're listening to the Rookie CEO podcast. So today we're going to talk about perfecting your customer journey because, well, for people that don't know, so your customer journey is when people go on your social media posts or your website blogs or anything like that, and they have a call to action. It says like email now or click here, and it takes you through to like a system, and then you get into a meeting. It's basically your sales cycle if we're going to go really old school.
It is, but the customer journey only really doesn't really ever end. It doesn't.
No, well, that's the most important part. If you actually look at the traditional sales cycle, there's that the aftercare part, and that is really important because that's what the aftercare is. What takes them back into being a repeat customer. And as we should probably all know now, it's much cheaper to have repeat customers than it is to acquire new clients constantly.
Yeah, and then allow them to market your business by referring you.
Yeah.
So I'm very passionate about customer journey because, especially nowadays, you need to make it quite efficient.
Yeah, and I mean, in simple terms, customer journey is basically the experience your customer gets.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And by customer, it does not even like, they don't have to be a customer. There's a potential customer as well, right? So going back to what you were saying, right? As I say, they've seen a video. This is more digital marketing. They've seen a video or post on your social media, right? That's the trigger. They've just heard of you. Perfect. Hopefully that content has it's now imprinted in their brain. They know who you are. They've started following you. That's even more amazing because now every time you post, or 1 in 3 times that you post, they should hopefully see it, depending on how often they are on social media. And if you're posting 3 times a week, at least one of those will have a call to action. And then hopefully they'll use that call to action at some point, or they'll use the whole link in bio, or they'll check out your website because of your bio. There's got a link. The customer journey. Are you yawning again?
No.
And then it never ends. But what I love about this, and I'm hoping you can kind of agree with me, is the chain is as weak as its weakest point. Which means if you've got an amazing social media, perfect. But if you have a really bad website, that's where things will fail.
Yeah, because people are fickle. If anything in that sales cycle makes their life difficult, or even by difficult I mean it slightly inconveniences them for about 60 seconds, because when they go to your website it was a bit slow when they loaded the contact form,
even something simple
or
as that.
Your contact form was too long, it asked for too much information, and they thought, I can't be blooming bothered to fill all that in. So you have to make sure that nothing breaks that chain.
Yeah. And then it could be something as simple as, right, your website. So your Instagram looks awesome. It's wacky. It's engaging. It's very modern. They go onto your website. They're booking a call with you. You answer the phone. Hello? Yeah. Oh, sorry, who's this? Even something so simple as that. Exactly. So it's about being consistent 100% with your branding, with your approach, with your level of customer service, because otherwise it's very obvious that you've outsourced your social media, you've outsourced your website, but you haven't quite mastered the customer service side, which you believe me, you might be good at, but it doesn't speak on behalf of everything else that's online. And
I genuinely think you need to master your customer journey and your customer service before you invest in marketing support. Yeah. Because you could pay thousands to a marketing company to push all this amazing content out, but if then Steve, who answers the phone in the office, is letting you down, you're investing all that money and then it's just dropping off a cliff. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with having a proper sort of miserable call center, but if your Instagram and your website isn't screaming we're a miserable call center, then you're going to lose. You're not attracting your ideal client, are you? It is that you have to make things consistent, and then once they are fully on board, it's the same approach. They've now got either really high. They've got a very clear expectation now who you are. They've been following you for a while. They've looked across your website a few times.
Yeah.
They finally spoken to you, and they're using your services. If you then drop the ball, one, as we mentioned earlier, they probably won't use you again. They're now thinking, this is what I've paid for. Hopefully we'll get there in the end. but they're very rarely going to use you again,
Yeah.
and they're very rarely going to refer you.
Yeah, it goes the other way as well, though, because if on your social media you speak very proper and you use lots of long words and jargon and all that kind of stuff, and you've attracted someone that actually likes that,
Loves it. Yeah.
they like someone a little bit more kind of serious and stuff like that, and then you answer the phone, you're like, "You're right, mate, how you doing? All right?" They're gonna be like, "Oh, what the hell?
I was not expecting this.
Yeah.
I was expecting the
just
queen.
like if you, like what you were saying, if you're doing the other way and you're kind of like really casual online, and then you get on the phone, you're really serious. You need to just make sure the tone of voice carries throughout your whole sales cycle.
And what's funny is I've actually had one piece of feedback with that, and it was only because I was having a bit of a bad day. But luckily, they were quite a loyal client. But it was just an email. It was just an email. I responded to an email, and normally I do respond to emails quite quirky because it's a part of our brand. But I went back to an email to say, basically, it was quite short. I'm available at 3:30 tomorrow if you want to give us a call. Rather than all being like, "Hi, how are you?" Blah, 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 which is normally what I'm like, even though it does put a lot of people off, doesn't it? Like, I don't care about the short talk. Get to the point. And they've responded almost instantly, saying, "Is everything okay? It's just, you don't sound yourself."
Hey Hev, have you heard of IT Managed Services? They're an IT support service based in Kent.
Yeah, I've been with them for over a year now. I love being able to just call them at any point and they take over my computer and fix the issue so much quicker than spending hours on Google.
Why have you kept that to yourself all this time? Right, I need to sign up to these guys. What's their website?
It's it-ms.co.uk or you can call 01634 218 362.
Yeah, but you know what though? You say, "Oh, like no one cares about that," but I had recently a client, same thing. Normally, I'm like, "Hi, hope you had a great weekend. Thanks so much for this." I'm over the top on my emails normally,
I am.
and they'd sent me something, and I just put "Great, see you at whatever," and they pulled me up on it, and they were like, "Oh, like just by the way, like you didn't actually say thank you for that thing I sent in the email. Like you just went straight into." Like arranging the meeting, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, like, don't worry about it. I just thought I'd mention it because
Feedback's important.
you like they were saying, like take it for granted that you do it so much that it was only when you didn't do it. Well, I was like, I noticed it more because it was so out of character for you.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting as well because people do pick up on like language changes if they start
even
to
in
know
emails,
you.
yeah. Like emails is quite a difficult one, isn't it? Because everyone could be reading that email so differently. So I do.
But there's all these little things like you've replied to an email in a rush, and without realizing you've broken your sales cycle with that client because you responded in a different tone because you didn't take a second to go, "Oh, let me actually just concentrate on this email."
Yeah.
So there's so many things when it comes to perfecting your sales cycle that can affect it.
100%. And now going sort of like fast forwarding a little bit. You've dealt with a client, you've done the work, they're really happy with the work, touch wood, they're really happy with the work. The customer journey still doesn't end. One thing that we don't do is we don't go straight away in with a glad you like it, here's a link to review your work. We leave it a week or maybe 2 weeks. We leave it a week first of all, just touch base, just making sure that you're still happy with the services that you received, everything's all good. You know, depending on what you're offering, what services you're offering, maybe wait even longer. And then hit him with just quite an authentic, even if it is templated, making sure it's quite authentic. Hi, we're hoping to kind of like increase our reviews on Google. Would you mind at some point leaving a Google review? That would be amazing. That's perfect for B2B because they're always at the desk anyway. They're always, not to say always, but you know what I mean. That's part of their business. They understand reviews are important. B2C, if we're looking at customers, I always push them to have business cards with a little thank you, and on the other side, a QR code. Please leave us a review, because let's just say you're a plumber and they've just stopped their house from leaking and going underwater. Like, they're in a great mood now. Grab them whilst they're in a good mood. Give them that QR code. Hang around a bit. Make sure they do it. Because those reviews are quite important.
Yeah, well, I'm sure loads of people have been in a restaurant and they're like, at the end, they're like, "Oh, we'd love to give you a drink on the house if you used to leave us a review."
And you're like, why would you say no to
absolutely, give me that Diet Coke you're offering.
Yeah, Diet Coke. I don't know about that. Maybe a Prosecco. It's normally a shot, isn't it? Or something?
Yeah, it's a shot, but actually it's just basically juice that they've put in a little funky
it's normally
shot
apple
glass.
sours, I thought. Isn't
Oh, it depends
No.
what way you go.
Yeah, obviously I don't go out much, do I? I've not gone out in ages, to be fair. But yeah, the customer journey never really ends.
No.
And again, if you are B2B, actually, even if you're B2C, what you find, especially if you're a tradesman, like they've just had the boiler service, guess what? They're going to need the boiler service again next year. So the customer journey starts, doesn't start again, but it just resets again.
Yeah.
Because you'll send them an email.
But I also think
reminder.
in terms of like, if you're on the tools, think of the sales cycle as like, if you turn up looking really scruffy, like, don't get me wrong, like if you're doing a manual job, you can't be like suited and booted. But what you can do is turn up in a branded polo. And then if
Yeah.
you're not at the point where you can afford a branded polo, you need to make sure you're wearing like clean clothes
Yeah.
and you're looking fresh. Like, just because you're in a manual job doesn't mean you can put that same top on from yesterday and turn up
Yeah.
like kicking up a whiff.
Yeah.
Like, all of these things embedded into your sales cycle might be the reason why people don't use you again.
Yeah, and it is a shame because, especially going back to the tradesman thing, these guys are probably amazing at what they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I have the same. Like, I've met web designers which are amazing, videographers which they're just so creative, but they're just not good at talking. And that's where, again, you could really impact your business and your customer journey, is they just don't know how to talk to a customer. And they come across a bit rude. They don't mean to be. Or they just simply, because they're not very confident in the way they talk, they just simply avoid the customer at all costs, which is even more off-putting. So I think if we're talking about investing in your customer journey, I definitely recommend investing in like just the communication side of things.
Yeah, and even if you, again, I'm just trying to cater for everyone's budgets here. There are some amazing communication coaches like Beth Turner from Conversation Unlimited works with us at Rookie CEO. But if you're not at that point where you can afford that, YouTube stuff.
YouTube's
There's
amazing.
YouTube for everything.
100%. And Beth's on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Beth offers loads of YouTube videos. But communication is so underrated in that sort of sector.
It wasn't actually till I met Beth that I actually paid as much attention to it as I do now. And like, just the conversations with her, I do kind of think what I'm saying a bit more about how I'm phrasing stuff and how I can come across a bit softer when I've got to deliver something a bit more to the point.
So if you want to know more about Beth Turner, go on our website, therookieCEO.co.uk. There's a speaker school in the menu. Click that. They'll go straight to her website. She is doing speaker school stuff for us. Basically, it's going to support you with your communicating about your business and your networking opportunities and your 10-minute presentations, your 60-second speeches, all that stuff. It's really about nailing that. And once you've nailed that, that's just a nice little piece of momentum to then take that to your personal life and when you're dealing with your clients.
Yeah.
But communication is definitely underrated.
Yeah. It was even like outside of the sales cycle, like the direct sales cycle, if you actually look at your outer sales cycle, say you've had a really bad experience with someone, they've got, you're really disgruntled with them, you go on LinkedIn and you write a huge rant. But there was a prospective client that's been following you for a while and they think, oh, that's off-putting.
Yeah.
They don't use you again now. So you really do, every single thing you put online, you have to think, would I want a prospective client reading this? Because you've got the sales cycle you're aware of, but there's also a sales cycle that you don't even know started yet.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
100%. Well, I'm hoping we're hoping you found this episode helpful.
Yes.
If you've got any questions for us, obviously leave them in the comments. And talking about reviews, drop us a review
5-star review
on the Spotify. If you're listening to us on Spotify, you can leave
I'm
a
going to go
review.
direct to the camera. Please leave me a 5-star review.
Me,
Please.
us. Well, just have
Just
whatever.
me.
As long as it's a 5-star review, it's
Write my
fine.
name in it. Every time my name's mentioned, Sam's going to donate. I'm joking.
I was wondering where that was going to go. Thanks for listening, guys. See you next week.
See you later. Bye.